Hypertension is a condition in which the blood vessels have persistently raised pressure. It's regarded as a serious medical condition that increases the risk of heart, brain, kidney, and other diseases. According to 2015 World Health Organization figures, 1.13 billion people worldwide have hypertension, with an upwards of 1 in 4 men and 1 in 5 women suffering from the condition. In commemoration of the 2022 World Hypertension Day, the Lagos State government is carrying out blood pressure screening and other necessary checks for public servants in the state to reduce the growing figures.
High blood pressure actually does not have a direct cause, but we have risk factors. We have things that we've seen in people that always end up with high blood pressure. Then another factor that we know that leads to high blood pressure is obesity. When people are overweight or obese, these are things that actually lead to high blood pressure. So until you run a check, that is when you can actually identify whether you have high blood pressure or not. And that's why we are actually advocating that for you to be able to help yourself, you must manage your blood pressure. You must check regularly, both in the hospital and at home.
The cardiovascular condition is a major cause of premature death, and it's not limited to a particular age.
I check my blood pressure levels sometimes about 3 months ago, but I do take some drugs for it. But the blood sugar level is what I have not taken in the last 6 or 7 months.
So I would advise the government, begging them anyway, not even advising, not begging them to let this kind of opportunity flow so that people can check the state of their health.
The Deputy Director, Disease Control at the Lagos State Ministry of Health, encourages everyone to eat right and check their health status regularly.
We have what we call risk factors, and these risk factors are modifiable or non-modifiable risk factors. Modifiable risk factors, as the name implies, means that it can be changed, or one non-modifiable, there's nothing one can do about it. The non-modifiable risk factors, we have age. As one grows older, definitely the disease progresses. And then if there's a family history, then the chances are individuals can have it, particularly with first-degree relatives. So hypertension can result in one having stroke, a heart disease, kidney disease, and can also lead to death. We need to increase our activities. Sometimes people will tell you that they don't have a gym nearby, but walking, regular walking, 30 minutes brisk walking, fast walking in a day, 5 times a week goes a long way.
This may serve as another wake-up call for individuals to know their blood pressure status and other important health statistics to ensure healthy living.
To discuss more about this, we're being joined by a consultant transplant physician, Dr. Theophilus Umezurike. A pleasure having you with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hypertension is a condition in which the blood vessels have been persistently raised pressure, but it's becoming really common these days. Statistics say about 30 to 40% of Nigerians are dealing with this. What do you think is causing this rise in numbers?
The numbers of hypertension can be attributed to a number of things. Number one, people are becoming more aware. And number two, we also have more screening facilities. We have more hospitals, we have more pharmacies, we have more laboratories compared to 20, 30 years ago. And also, there's an aspect of the fact that people are becoming westernized in their diet. So we're eating refined products, and that also raises a risk because hypertension has some measure of genetic risk factor, like one of your earlier speakers talked about, family history, which can be linked to genetics. But apart from genetic predisposition...
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, apart from the genetic predisposition that people have, when they're also exposed in terms of their environment, what they consume, the lifestyle they live, or some other habits like smoking, taking alcohol, all those can help to increase the risk of someone developing high blood pressure with age.
Now, let's discuss the preventive measures. There's medical checkup and regular exercise. What else can people do to prevent this?
So prevention, you start with maintaining a good lifestyle. Try to reduce your salt intake. the hypertension in our climate is linked to increased salt intake, whether as homemade food or added salt or any other form of additives that have salt. I don't want to mention names. That's number one. You need to reduce the amount of salt we eat. And number two is to try and do regular exercise and start off small, maybe 5-10 minutes every day, and increase gradually over months or weeks to get to 30 minutes every day. Any form of exercise can do. And number three, you want to make sure that people take fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. Number four, for those that are smoking, they should stop smoking. Number five, for those that take alcohol, should stop. Number six, for those that are obese or overweight, they should lose weight because that helps to ensure that they don't develop hypertension, or if they have hypertension already, they're able to be managed better. Now, along with the preventive strategies, we need to also talk about those who have been diagnosed, that they should not be scared to be on medication for a lifetime.
Okay.
Because the notion people have is that when they start taking medications and they are stuck with it, they should see it that once somebody has developed hypertension, when we talk about essential hypertension that comes on with age, that we don't have a known cause for, they need to be on medications for a lifetime. They shouldn't see it as a death sentence, but rather as a way to prevent cardiovascular diseases like stroke, like dementia, like heart failure, heart attack, kidney failure, and blindness.
Dr. Theophilus Umezurike, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the program.
Thank you for having me.